I'm just getting going. They ain't even telling y'all what I'm doing. Look, can y'all tell I'm rusty? Wow. It's like Hallease. First and foremost, it's a tutorial. Hey everyone, it's me, Hallease, endeavoring to persevere. As always, if you're new here, I make videos about my chaotic good life. Subscribe, follow social media, all of the things. I don't know why I got rid of the Pop&Parles. Back in 2020, I used to do this series called Pop&Parle where I would sit and pop and separate my locks. That's how I maintain my semi-freeform locks. And just rap with y'all about stuff, that was going on. We are going to pop and separate my locks to help maintain them and keep them how they are. And then we're gonna talk about moving to Atlanta because, as the title of this video probably suggests, I'm thinking about moving to Atlanta. And I wanna get y'all's thoughts on it. Oh, and by the way, if the audio is just a little weird on this one, I'm sorry in advance. I'm testing out. Y'all know me, I love gear and trying out new gear all the time. And so I'm testing out a new recording device. I'm just getting going, they ain't even telling y'all what I'm doing. Look, can y'all tell I'm rusty? Wow, it's like Hallease, first and foremost, it's a tutorial. So when I pop and separate my locks, I usually separate my hair into down the middle, which I know middle parts are like the vibe right now. For the utes be rocking the middle part, and I hate middle part. On me, I think it's just not, it just looks so weird to me. It looks so weird to me. And then I just take a couple of my longest locks and I just wrap them around one side and then just tuck them in to that same wrapped lock. And that's how I keep those out of the way while I work on the other side. And then the next thing I do to pop and separate is I just take my hands very lightly and I just kind of comb down. And that starts to really loosen things up. Nice. Ooh, that feels good. But I do that a little bit. And then from there, I start popping and separating. All right, so I take all of them and then I just slowly start pulling them and making sure to separate them. And the whole point of this is that this is what defines me as someone who's semi-freeform, is that I don't let my locks just do whatever, which would be freeform. I do try to have a little bit of just order to the chaos that is my hair. But as you can see, I've also let many of my locks merge as well. If it just seemed like that was going to benefit the lock overall and make it healthier, then I would do that. But this is pretty much the main way I keep my hair maintained. I don't retwist, I don't interlock anymore. Y'all, if y'all know me, you've been on this channel for a minute, y'all know I stay having one foot out the door. I live in Texas. I love San Antonio. It's a wonderful city. The people are beautiful and amazing. But I think it's time to take another calculated risk to get myself to what I think is the next phase, of my career. I see Atlanta as the path of least resistance to do that. Now, as y'all know, I'm a filmmaker, video producer, digital storyteller, content creator, whatever you want to call me, I am that. And y'all saw I did the show. This could have been an email, did 3 episodes of the 5. I'm just realizing I do want the opportunity to tell longer form stories. I do want the opportunity to tell narrative stories, but the struggle or the crux of this is I don't necessarily want to move to California. One, because the jump in cost of living is just so much higher. Going from Texas to California, the jump is astronomical. It's just really hard to make that jump. Atlanta started popping into my mind a lot because this could have been an email, ended up being in the Bronze Lens Festival in Atlanta, which is an Oscar qualifying festival for features, short films, documentaries, etc. The show's a web series, so obviously it's not going to the Oscars or anything, but so it was just really cool to go to Atlanta, be part of this festival, meet up with some folks IRL, and I spent a week there in Midtown, so kind of in the heart of it, you know what I mean? I just really enjoyed the vibe, and it feels like a path of least resistance to be more involved, if you will, in the traditional Hollywood film scene, but in a way that feels authentic to me and organic to me, rather than moving to California. So the goal is, I'm gonna do the other side now. The goal is to move there in 2023 and give it a college try, like really give it a go in trying to just establish myself in a new place and get myself to what I hope is the next phase of my professional career. Because the thing that's been fascinating for me in my career thus far, in filmmaking, in content creation, is that I have never moved for it, but I've never moved for my job and just to like try to find what the next phase is for my job, you know? And yet I have been able to find success even in not living in places where I would undoubtedly have more access to other creatives, the industry at large. You know, I'm a Black girl in San Antonio and yet I'm doing okay, which is amazing. But then that also makes me think, wow, how much further along would I be if I did live somewhere that it was just like more involved, you know what I mean? That's like on the career side, moving to Atlanta is for that, you know? I love talking, like, and this is why I wanted to talk to y'all about it through a video, because I feel like, one, I've met enough of y'all in real life that I feel like I basically have 90,000 friends. I don't know if y'all can tell this by the content of my channel, but I am someone that loves a survey. Like, survey says, I love a good survey. And I love trying to just see just like where I fit within the realm of just existence and people, you know? And so that's why I'm telling y'all about this, is because I wanna know y'all's thoughts. I welcome feedback in me deciding to make this move. Even if I don't agree with you, it's fine. So on the personal side now, it's interesting to live here. If you're from the South, you know what I mean. And it's interesting to live here in San Antonio specifically, as opposed to Austin. Something that was very, and I'm gonna get to the point, I promise. But something that was very fascinating for me, I lived in Austin all through my undergrad, and then also all the way up until I was about 26, 27. I'm now 32. I genuinely had a culture shock coming from Austin back to San Antonio, because I did not realize how much I had adapted to being the other in Austin. And Austin, I love you, I do. You know, I went to college there. I just became a whole adult there. I really did not realize how comfortable I got being the other in Austin until I came back to San Antonio, which is minority majority. Like, I did not realize how much I got stared at. And it wasn't until I came back to San Antonio that I realized how much I had gotten used to it, because like, San Antonio has its own problems with race and class. It's more class. There's a lot of classism here in San Antonio. But one thing I can say for sure is that I've never felt othered here in a way where I felt like I couldn't go to a certain store or like followed or things like that. And like, that's been most of I was born and raised here in San Antonio. That was like most of my life growing up. I did not have to start defining myself by my Blackness as the first thing. I always defined myself as Black, but as the first thing, I didn't have to do that until I went to a UT, a predominantly white institution, until I went to the University of Texas at Austin. I mean, hook 'em horns or whatever, but like, wow, I really went through such a culture shock going there and just being like, dang, I got it, like, Black is the first thing I have to be to like survive this, and realizing how much I had to actually like seek out my people and find my community to just like survive the undergrad experience. It was very fascinating for me. And then I got used to it. And now I'll go back to Austin to visit friends or whatever, and I am just so immediately reminded of just like, dang, you don't realize how much that grades on you until you leave it. The point of that being, I'm interested to move to a city like Atlanta to at least a resemblance of understanding what it means to be a dime a dozen. I've never gotten the honor of being a dime a dozen somewhere. Like, truly, that has never been my existence. I have always been the other. My week in Atlanta really showed me that. Like, obviously, Georgia's Old South, so that's a different vibe. Like, y'all think Texas is wild, and I'm sure the other like Old South folks know. The South is just, it's different, you know what I'm saying? But I think because of my background and where I'm from, again, I'm from Texas, but my family's from Virginia. Like, Old South, New South is like generationally who I am. And so I've learned to navigate it very well, but I've never been in an Old South state and also been amongst my identity in heavy numbers. Being in Atlanta and frankly, like, seeing that level of not even Black excellence, like, I don't even want to take it that far, but just that level of Black stability, and like welcoming. Like, it was just so fascinating to be there for that week for Bronze Lens and be amongst other Black creatives who aren't just trying to get something out of you. You know what I mean? Like, they really were just like, oh, what are you working on? That sounds really cool. Let me know if you need help with that. Like, just excited to collaborate. Which, you know, I've had moments like that here in Texas, but it's just really hard to break into and it's really hard to navigate. And I was in Atlanta for a week and like, folks were just like, please come back, you know, like, if you're here, please let us know. Like, whenever you come back, let us know. You know, it was just so welcoming in a way that, again, I have experienced here in Texas, but I think not to that level in just a week. And so all that to say, as we have obviously finished, have we finished? Do I want to like fix one of these locks? I might want to. All that to say, I'm telling y'all this because I want y'all to hold me to it. I want y'all to hold me to it, okay? By mid-year 2023, I need to not be here, okay? So y'all should be seeing some, hey guys, we're moving content by mid-year of 2023. Because that's when my lease is up here at this apartment. And that's when we're gonna make the move to, I feel, Atlanta. Hold me accountable because I think it's time. Like, again, not to beat a dead horse, but I really do think it's time to take another calculated risk for my career, for the company. And if it's not Atlanta, then it's somewhere else. I don't know. Look, if San Diego wasn't so freaking expensive, I remember, y'all don't even know. I was talking to Glenn, Belief in Fatherhood. I was talking to Glenn about moving to San Diego like a whole 2 years ago, I want to say. And then I finally got around to starting to do some research on the rent prices. And I was like, Jesus, it ain't me, I ain't it. You realize where you sit within the like whole nation in regards to cost of living and quality of life, like in regards to cost of living. Like it really throws me when I realize that if I was just born in San Diego, I would be making the equivalent amount of money to what I'm making now. Is just a higher dollar amount. And so because of that, I then have access to move across way more of the country because just like my doing okay is Texas's you big baller. It just blows my mind when I just see how different the cost of living is across the country in different ways. But in the comments below, a few things I would love for y'all's thoughts on. One, if you are a Georgian and you are familiar with the city of Atlanta, hook me up with some neighborhoods, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm starting to do research about different neighborhoods in Atlanta and just like rent prices, things like that. Any neighborhoods that you feel like that a semi-young, artistic, filmy person should live in, let me know what those are in the comments below. Also, if you are someone who has moved, you know, cross country, out of state, any tips around order of operations of how to approach this would be greatly appreciated. I would love to hear your thoughts because I feel like there's so many ways you can go around it. Like, should I just sell all my stuff and then buy new stuff over there? You know what I'm saying? Should I do one of those pod things? Should I you know what I'm saying? So all that to say, Pop&Parles are back. Locks look good, nice and separated. I did not feel the need to fix any of my locks with my crochet hook today because I think they're fine. Big shout out to my Patreon producers, patreon.com/Hallease. There you get early access to these videos as well as private exclusive content as well and merch, tambien. All that is happening over on Patreon. Also, if Patreon for whatever reason is not your bag, you can do YouTube Join as well. I also put out content, exclusive content over there too. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for sticking around. Consider subscribing because yo, I am sitting at like 90K right now, and like truly subscriber count does not matter. Like truly, it doesn't. Like it doesn't. I mean, it does, but like it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't. But here's the thing. I have been on YouTube for like oh my gosh. I've been on YouTube for over 10 years technically. And I have a play button. I do. I have a play button for another channel that I managed as a producer. Really proud of that play button. But I don't have a play button for this channel. And I feel like if I want one for this channel, you know what I'm saying? Because this is my baby. This channel is the one, you know? It is. And so, subscribe is the point of the story. It's always so weird to tell people to subscribe. It's just like such a weird vibe. But like, I want a freaking play button. Like, it's been too long. Again, I'm Hallease. I'll see you when I see you.